Hello everyone and welcome to this week's news video. I hope you're doing well. This week in the news, things have been quite dominated by elections. I don't know if you've noticed. Of course, we had the Russian presidential elections at the beginning of the week with the results as expected, all choreography and well prepared. But we also had talk about the US presidential elections with the nominations being sort of confirmed for both parties. And then in the UK, we've had talk as well about when the general election is going to take place. Elections are, in fact, taking place all over the world this year. Different commentators have remarked in reports that 2024 is the year of elections where over half of the world's population at some stage this year are going to be involved in electing new leaders. And all of that makes us think, doesn't it, as Christians, about what leadership really means. We long for people who are going to be able to provide good political programs, but actually underneath that, we long for leadership that's going to give different sorts of openings and is going to show us a new way of being who we are. And that, of course, is where the Jewish people were as they looked forward to the coming of a leader that they called a Messiah who would be able to deliver them. And that longing for a leader is what we're thinking about this coming Sunday as we come towards the end of the period of Lent and we find ourselves on Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday is that moment where Jesus enters Jerusalem on a donkey, and he's acclaimed and clapped and lauded by the crowds who use the old prophecies in the book of Zechariah and elsewhere that prophesy a king will come to Jerusalem, and they acclaim and celebrate this king who's coming on a donkey. Now, the donkey gives a bit of a hint that this king is going to be different from other political leaders, but they're not sure about that, and the crowds, I just wonder quite what they understood when they were waving their palm leaves and saying, "The king is here, Hosanna." Because, of course, this is also the beginning of Holy Week, which turns our thoughts and our attentions to the cross and Jesus as the King who gives his life. So this Sunday, Palm Sunday, we're going to be both celebrating Jesus as the King, but also reflecting on what sort of a king he is, and through that, what sort of people he calls us to be and what sort of leaders he calls us to be in the world. It's a very different type of leadership that is humble, that washes the servant's feet. He washes his disciples' feet and then he offers his life, the extreme gift of love. So all of that begins this Sunday as we gather together to celebrate Palm Sunday, both 9 o'clock and 10:30, French Connect and Create. We're thinking about that and how that brings to a conclusion our series on the covenants. Everything is fulfilled in King Jesus when he comes, but just not as we might normally expect it, a different type of king. And then next week, of course, we are in Holy Week, and we love to come and to invite you to join us on Thursday for our Maundy Thursday service, and then Friday for Good Friday, where we remember and we'll retell the story of Jesus' death on the cross. And then, of course, Easter itself, wonderful celebration. But all of that begins this Sunday with Palm Sunday. So we hope that you'll be able to join us on Sunday in order to celebrate the kingship of Jesus and reflect together on what it means to follow that king and to be made in his image as leaders of others. Wow, what stuff to think about. Have a great day. Hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.